And now it is time to talk sports because the 2026 FIFA World Cup is already producing major talking points with African nations that are finding themselves facing mixed fortunes in their opening matches. Let's take a closer look at the key moments and what they mean for Africa in this Africa's World Cup journey. And for that, we're having our very own sportsman, Durell Batinga, who's joining us on set for more details. It's a pleasure to have you on board, Durell.
Pleasure to be here, Nadine, with some of the World Cup latest as we've been seeing Africa teams performing in the US, Canada and Mexico.
We cannot wait to have the analysis. Let's start with Senegal that fought hard yesterday but still fell short by 3-0 to France.
3-1, Nadine.
3-1, right.
Right, the encounter took place in New Jersey in the United States of America, and the first 45 minutes were hugely dominated by the Teranga Lions of Senegal, who were asking the majority of questions in the first 45. We had Nicolas Jackson, who struck the crossbar, and of course multiple crosses delivered in the 80-meter area of France by the likes of Diouf in that particular game. But Senegal had problems concretizing these chances. They had 6 total shots in that game, but just 2 were on target. In the second 45, France changed the face of the game with Kylian Mbappe scoring twice and Bradley Bakola adding the 3rd goal of that encounter. Senegal did pull one back through their striker, Ibrahim Mbaye, the 18-year-old striker who pulled one back for Senegal, becoming the youngest African player to score at the FIFA World Cup. History in the making for Ibrahim Mbaye. But Senegal lost to France 3-1. It is the first time they're losing to France in an official competition. They now have to make amends in their 2 remainder World Cup group stage encounters against Norway and Iraq, with the aim of booking maximum points to qualify for the knockout stages of the tournament. But big performance for Senegal, Nadine, but not the results they were hoping to achieve. But France, once again, prolific as we saw in that game.
Some Cameroonians were caught in between supporting Senegal because it's an African country and also supporting France because of Kylian Mbappe.
Well, regardless of their choices, the 2 teams are prolific. They had to be a winner at the end of the day. It is France's game. Take nothing away from Senegal's game. 2 more games to make amends. We'll keep track of their performances and how far they're going to go in this tournament.
Right, Durell. So about Algeria, Algeria lost 3-0 as Messi scores historic hat-trick during the match yesterday. Right,
took place in Kansas, where Algeria were overpowered by the defending champions Argentina in that group stage encounter. Lionel Messi struck twice a hat-trick in that particular game as Algeria fell short. The game was dominated in terms of ball possession by Algeria, surprisingly accumulating 53 ball possession. There we're looking at the pre-match hostilities from the 2 camps as the fans took matters into their hands as the debate continued before kickoff. And there is Lionel Messi with one of the brilliant goals. He scored 3 of which against Algeria, now becoming the oldest player to score 3 goals at the World Cup, especially. Now, Algeria, despite controlling the majority of ball possession, could not get back into that particular encounter. And this performance now brings to light the dismal showing of North Africa representative at the World Cup following the 5-1 thrashing of Tunisia, which also saw the sacking of their coach and the bringing in of Hervé Renard. So there is need for North Africa representatives to step up their game. Worth noting that in Group J, Algeria will next face Austria and Jordan with the objective of making amends and why not qualifying for the next round of the tournament.
Interesting, Durell. Let's continue talking about how African teams are performing during the World Cup. Now let's go to Ghana, whose midfielder Thomas Partey has been denied entry into Canada despite government appeal. Is this a blow for the Ghanaian team?
A big blow it is, Nadine, for Carlos Queiroz, Black Stars of Ghana. It is Thomas Partey who has been denied entry visa into Canada. Well, the reason the Canadian immigration authorities are citing is his pending court cases in the United Kingdom, where he is charged with sexual assault and rape. Though the midfielder has denied those charges, The immigration authorities say those charges makes him inadmissible to Canada. Hence, Thomas Partey will be missing Ghana's World Cup opener against Panama that will take place at midnight today in Toronto. This implies coach Carlos Queiroz will like to bank on the likes of Caleb Karinki, Kwasi Sibo, Elisha Owasu, and Augustine Bonke, who are all midfielders with the Black Stars setup. But there is a glimmer of hope, though, Nadine, because Partey will be allowed to feature for Ghana in the games outside of Canada, implying if they manage to progress out of the group stages in the tournament and make it to the next stage of the tournament, their games played in the US, Thomas Partey would be allowed to compete. At the moment, he is staying at the Ghana's camp base in the US, as he has not been granted access to enter Canada and join the rest of the team for the World Cup opener against Panama later today.
Tell us, Durell, is this going to pose a problem for Ghana's team's midfield, given that he is not going to be available personally in Canada?
Right, he's a prolific midfielder in the likes of Arsenal. In his spells at Villarreal, he has proven to be a key piece in the midfield setup, reason why Carlos Queiroz banked on him despite the latest court cases he's been suffering from in the UK. It's going to be a huge impact towards the team in the midfield area as well. But the coach would be looking forward to finding suitable replacements for Partey to make the void not very much felt, as they are poised to begin with a victory against Panama. Should they pull the odds? It is a 50-50 chance, of course, Nadine.
Great. Yeah, from Cameroon today, we're wishing them the best. And of course, we'll be following on that. Now, let's talk DRC that opens their World Cup campaign today in Portugal, Durell.
Now, historic World Cup appearance for the DRC. They are making their return after 52 years of wait, Nadine Mebune. Right. And they are doing so against Cristiano Ronaldo's Portugal. That is the ultimate test for the Leopards of the Democratic Republic of Congo. But then, most of their players are featuring at 2026 for the first time in history, as the team is poised to make a resounding first match appearance against Portugal. Now, looking at the last 5 games, Portugal has amassed 4 consecutive wins and a draw. The DRC, reputable for scoring late goals, has managed 2 wins, a draw, and 2 defeats. Well, the pre-match start speaks hugely in favor of Portugal in this game, but take nothing away from the DRC. The likes of Chancel Mbemba, they are fueled by huge passion, fighting spirit, 52-year return to the World Cup, and they feel that they can pull the odds against almighty Portugal in their World Cup opener later today, which kickoff is set for 6 p.m. Cameroonian time. Just to note that the DR Congo, many believe in their abilities to overthrow Portugal, and they will also be supported by their iconic fan, Michel Koka Mboladinga, who poses as Patrice Lumumba, the independence hero of the Democratic Republic of Congo. So his support is going to play hugely in the favor of the DRC, because Nadine recalled that they will be missing many of their home fans due to the Ebola outbreak and the restrictions with regards to travel. So they'll be banking on their fans already in the US, and Michel Koka Mboladinga, who was present in the technical staff of the DRC, as they will be opening their campaign against Portugal today in the US.
Well, it's definitely going to be a tough opener for the DRC, and we'll be looking forward to what the results will be like. But before we leave you to go, Durell, tell us, are African teams competitive enough but still lack finishing during these matches? Because, I mean, from the results, we can tell. What is your opinion personally? Right,
Nadine, they are very, very competitive. We saw that from the from Côte d'Ivoire, rather. We saw that as well from Cape Verde. But so far, there's still much to play for, and we'll keep track on their performances. But so far, Côte d'Ivoire and, of course, Cape Verde are giving much hope to the continent.
Right, Durell, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for all the insights, the sports insights, and looking forward to having you again on Friday.
We'll take the rendezvous.
Great. Have a lovely day, Durell. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been it for this edition's Sports Talk. It has been Sports Flash with our very own sportsman, Durell Batinga. And of course, that has brought us to the end of this edition of Cameroon Today. Thanks indeed for your time. And it is time to go, Sandrine Babo.
Oui, vous l'avez dit, c'est la fin du journal. Mesdames, Messieurs, merci d'avoir regardé. On vous donne un nouveau rendez-vous demain jeudi pour une autre session du 12h sur Dash Télévision.